Hello everybody, всем привет. Today I want to show some different things here. This is my old build, this is my new build here, and this is the original game. And so basically yesterday I wanted to do some quality of life improvements, just looking at the map and making them actually like just function a little better. Things that were bothering me that I'm like, oh, I have to work on this later, but I just felt like doing them right now. They don't really advance the project hugely, but they were just things that were kind of bothering me that I thought I should get working. So one of them is the Warlock radius, like the scouting radius. So if you look here, this is my original default scouting radius of 5 for each hero. And this is my old build. This is my new build, and you can see the scouting radius is much larger. It is +2, so it is 0.7. Why is it +2, you ask? Well, on this website, this acidcave.net, they specify that the Warlock has a sight radius of +2. However, after looking at the original game, at least this is the DOS version, maybe the Windows 95 version is different, but the DOS version has actually just a sight of +1. You see there's a different, like just above the griffins here, you can't quite see this extra tile of the graveyard. You can't quite. So basically, I think that website is wrong. And this should actually just be +1. So the Warlock gets an extra +1 to their sight radius, to their scouting radius. And so this is my current build version, and we have a mistake there. Another thing, so this is my old version here. I did have the hero screen working, but I didn't have the numbers, the layouts, different things. And also, if you notice, as I move my mouse around, it's always showing this hero helmet. So that's one thing that was wrong with that, and this is my current new version. Now it's showing the correct mouse. You can see the experience total, the attack skill, spell power. You know, the name of the hero is there correctly. So basically, the text is showing up. Although actually, I wonder if I try something here. It could be that I'm just missing, because I thought I did that in that older version. It could actually be that I'm just missing the font file, that hasn't been copied into the build. So let me see if I copy that in. I'm just curious if it loads. Maybe I'll reload this quick. Yeah, so just the font wasn't loaded in the directory. So I did have the text working on that version, but you can see this this older version here. We had this mouse is still just the helmet, which is not correct behavior. Now it's reverted to the regular mouse. Now this is supposed to, you're supposed to get you're supposed to get little messages when you click on different things. You're supposed to be able to see some different things. We don't have that implemented fully yet. So that's still in the to-do. But there's another thing going on here. So the original map, 101495, to reveal the map. We had this bug where if you look at these, the mines, they are not rendering the mine tile completely behind them. The way that these mine files, or the way that the mine tiles are rendered is basically 12, 14, 18, 22, 24. These are basically the mine tiles for each different land type. Like this is dirt, desert, green grass, snow, and maybe that swamp is the last. I can't quite. Maybe we could try zooming way in and see. Yeah, that's swamp. You see there's a little bit of blue and some marsh underneath that. So that one's swamp. And then basically the game overlays these minecart images there to produce the correct image. Well, in my old version, I'm not processing this correctly. If we go to the actual game, just scroll up here, you see there's a big difference. So that you can see the actual like area behind the minecart. So in my new version, my newest version here, 101.495, we have that fixed, and I'll explain why that was happening. You may also notice that in the old version here, the characters are not animated, or not the characters, the random monster encounters are not animated, and now they are. So that has been fixed. And then I think I also did something with the morale of the. I did something with computing the morale and luck of each hero. But let me go in and we'll just start going through the AI changes that we made. So I dumped a whole bunch of my files up there, and I showed the AI the specific bug that I was missing this tile, and I basically told the AI, this is the correct behavior, this is the incorrect behavior, and so first thing I wanted to add was the Warlock site class, which I wanted to move that to a 7-tile radius because this website told me we had a site radius of +2. Now I think it's +1 actually, and I'll change that in a moment. The Knight class also has the special ability that their morale is +1 by default for any creature type. On the hero screen, the cursor should revert to the standard mouse cursor, which we are now doing. See, this is working now. And then the rendering the tiles that have the minecart is re-rendering the ground tile underneath, and then rendering the minecart over it and skipping the other L2 tile. So it's skipping this piece of the mine tile that is actually the background behind this minecart. So it's skipping rendering this tile before rendering the minecart. And I think I described it as a rendering order bug. And then I also said that the default, by default, the map, the game map is using Mini Monster 32, which I'll show you what that looks like. Actually, not that. No, it was using Monster 32, MONS 32. So this is just a fixed image of each of these creature types. And this is MINIMON. This is actually the animation frames. And there's actually 7 animation frames per each creature. But if you look at the dragon, there's this fire breathing frame, which you don't really see in the dragon. You don't really see the griffin doing this in the animation here. The griffin's not doing its claw animation at the end. The pikeman is, they are not doing their full stabby motion. They're not doing that. So I realized that the 7th frame of animation is actually like the attack frame when your hero goes and fights the creature. So there's that brief instant there where you see, I'm just going to run away. Cowardly Ari. But there's this brief moment where that animation frame happens, I think. And maybe if I had the game on a slower setting, let's make her move faster. And I'm going to slow down the game speed to walk. And let's just see if we can watch this and see if we get that animation frame with the sort of extra stab thrust from these pikemen. Yep, that's what we got, that just for that one little instant. So that was something to notice. So I haven't implemented that yet, but I will. And the regular thing that's being used is this monster 32, which, if we're down here, let's recruit another hero. And put this in here, and then you see the monster 32 is actually used down here in the little hero mini summary that shows your army. It probably also, if we go, like, let's say we look at another hero, it shows there, so that's where it's being used. And probably if you have a Thieves Guild and you can look at the castle, you would see him there. So I've basically over here got the animation working. You will notice, so the griffins here, their wings go over the mountains and actually a little bit behind the tree. And if you look at my animation here, the griffin's wings are behind the mountains. So there's a slight rendering order bug there as well. And so, you know, there's still a few little things wrong. But basically, anyway, I gave it I gave the AI these instructions about the monster tiles. There are 7 frames of animation. There are monster indices between 0000 and 0028, which, if we go back over here, the 28 is actually the random monster tile. So there's really only 27. So 0 to 27 is 28 because of the 0-based index. There's actually 29. I call it out as 28 here. That makes, so 7 times 28 is 196. But because this is the 29th image, the AI actually created an extra set of animations for the random monster tile. But that doesn't exist in MINIMON. It only goes up to 196, 0 to 195. So that was kind of interesting to, you know, that was just another quirk of the AI. Like, it followed my directions correctly, that there were monsters indexed 000 to 0028, but that's actually 29. So it created like an extra, I think it was 203 was the number of images it thought should be there. So it created an animation for that random monster tile, which shouldn't really exist. So I fixed that manually after the fact. But I gave it a struct here that has all of the creatures basically coded by their hex code, which, you know, like 21 in hex is actually like 27 in decimal. So it goes through, does some processing. It claims in change 4 here to have fixed the minecart rendering order. Spends a lot of time on that. It kind of struggles with that, and then it did the monster animation. Had to continue a couple times because this was a really big, you know, this was a big loadout. Like, my game memory map format, these files are like 40 to 60 kilobytes. My game main is now getting to be 60 kilobytes. Fog of War is like 10 kilobytes. So there's, you know, this is starting to become a sizable project to feed into context to the AI. So it takes a little more token and processing time to crunch through this. And also, if I'm using Claude during the peak hours of the day, I try to use it in off hours, but if I use it during peak hours of the day, it's a little slower. You just don't get as good of a result. They're kind of stretching their computing resources a little bit thinner over all the users that use it during the US business hours day. So trying to use it outside of US business hours is, I get a little more juice for the squeeze, so to speak. It added some helper methods here to Hero Quest or Hero Crest to identify for the morale bonus, the knight. Is this a knight? If so, give it a morale bonus. Is this a warlock? If so, give it a sight bonus. And it updated the scouting radius, it updated the cursor in the hero screen, it claims to have fixed the minecart rendering, and it fixed the mini monster animation and the knight morale bonus. So gave me some files, I recompiled, highlighted that, hey, a bunch of those changes did work. I manually changed the animation time from 250 milliseconds to 500, and I did that also on the palette tile cycling, just because it just seemed closer to the game, and I could actually probably measure it. I'm just trying to ballpark it, and I can fine tune it later. I manually added in these as well because there are movement bonuses for the Barbarian and the Sorceress that, I mean, I guess I can just highlight that here. The Sorceress gets double movement on water, the Barbarian has no rough terrain penalty movement, and the Knight gets +1 morale. So I'm going to be adding those in, especially as I'm going to start working on the movement bonuses. That's when this is going to come in handy in a little bit. I'm going to have to start calculating the movement things because in my current versions, you know, my hero can just kind of move indefinitely, even once they're past the red level. And then I wanted some additional data structures here for when you visit this fairy ring. You're supposed to get a little morale bonus, or I think it was morale. Maybe it's luck. I don't remember. Is the fairy? Well, let's find out. Let's have Sir Gallant here, which, by the way, reveals that you get good morale. You get the knight bonus modifier. Let's see. Does this improve morale or luck? It's luck. Oops. So that's, you know, human error there. Can't blame the AI for that one. Did I specify that correctly? Let's see. Morale bonus is 3 different factions. There's actually -2 if it's 4 different factions, and -3 if it's 5 different factions. So I have to expand that. Oh no, I did the fairy ring right. The fairy ring gives +1 luck, and the fountain gives +1 luck. The fountain is this guy right here. That's the fountain that gives you +1 luck also. And I think these effects just last for the next battle. I was also reviewing some of the information, and apparently the shipwreck or the graveyard, like this graveyard here, gives you a -1, and I'm not sure if that is per, if that's like for the rest of the game, or if that is just until the next battle. So I need to double check that. I'm not sure, and this website doesn't clear it up either. So it's easily figured out, you know, based on playing through the game. So I'll figure that out, but just making a note of that. And if you happen to know, please leave it in the comments. It'll save me a little bit of time. Anyway, it takes another attempt at trying to fix the it makes a small modification here on fixing the effective morale, effective luck, and then it goes back trying to fix this mine layer swap, and create some new functions here for having visited these different structures. These are booleans packed into bits 0 through 4. And I need to double check that that's actually the right way to do it, because what if you visit this fairy ring here, and what if you visited also this fairy ring down here? Like what if your hero visits both of those? Do you get +2 luck? I don't think so. I think you can only get 1 fairy ring luck per like visit. So that's why I think that this is the correct logic to handle that. But again, I need to double check that. So if you know, leave a comment. Otherwise, we're going to figure it out. And even if you did leave a comment, I would double check it. But got to be thorough. Got to be thorough. So I tested the outputs from the AI. It still didn't work. Let's try once more. This time I gave it the images and tried to give it the best, even more a more clear explanation. These explained it now on video in a way that hopefully makes sense. Again, the way they say it, the card index is stored in byte 5, and if this flag in byte 6 has the 0x10, so this means that the fourth bit 0 to 3 are 0, bit 4 is a 1. That means it's a minecart. So, and then byte 5 tells us what it is, and then it was byte 3, the L1 index, that tells us which generic minecart frame it is. And so this was just not being parsed correctly. The mine face was missing, and once we got through that, it worked. So that's how we solved that weird bug. What we've done so far, and what I'm going to do. What I'm going to do right now is go in and make a quick change. I'm going to pop in the code here, and I'm going to drop the Warlock's level down to +1. And I'm going to do a quick recompile. And let's see if this version gets fixed, if the Warlock's sight radius drops down to the correct level. Okay, we're there. Just doing a quick build. So when we do a build here, we delete our old build directory. We create our make files, and then we do the actual make of the program. Go into the build directory and we run the program, and yes, now this looks correct. That we do not see this tile above the I think it's actually off-centered by 1, I realize, because it should be I can actually fix that as well. Because I think here, when we respawn, let's just respawn a couple times until we get a Warlock, and we will see good old random number generation here. See, look at that. So the Warlock it started out centered here. And my Warlock here started out centered, it was actually up 1 like that. So it's a little more correct to do it this way, one tile down. So yeah, I'll add that to my minor list of changes. But that's where we're at for right now.